Violent Urge, target the Swift Spear, prey on Delirium. Alright, back from the RC. That means more prowess in modern time. Recent bans and unbans, so a lot of things to try out. To start off with, I'm going to do nothing crazy. I think the format's going to get a bit faster, of course, because of Living End and Rhinos coming back. So a quick main board change is going to be minus the 4th expressive for the extra mutagenic growth. And then into the sideboard, going to up on Meltdowns to try and fight the Chalice of the Void uptick as well. And we're going to up the Consigner Memory to stop the Cascade triggers and up the Assault Strobe count. The Assault Strobe is really good at racing. Giving a creature double strike is huge. It means we can kill opponents out of nowhere. If you guys are keen to, I've got a tournament report up for the RC that just happened. Even though it wasn't modern, there's a link for that in the description. We're going to spend the next couple of days and potentially weeks trying to map out the best iteration of modern prowess. So if you've got any suggestions, chuck down a comment down below. But yeah, other than that, let's jump into some games. Round number 1, we are on the play. Opening hand is very solid. Let's keep. We'll start off with a turn 1 Swift Spear. Don't get too fancy with the Lava Dart into Chori Steel plus Dart on turn 2. Bit too fancy for my liking. Punch for 1. Opponent starts off with the Plains into Guide of Souls. So it looks like energy minus PHLAGE. Great for prowess. PHLAGE was a big problem. So I think here what I want to do, I want to play Arid Mesa and just heat the Guide of Souls. Hold off on Chori Steel for the minute because we really need to get Guide of Souls off the table. It's the best card into prowess outside of PHLAGE itself. Opponent plays Ocelot Pride on turn 2 into Elegant Parlor. We do have a really nice turn 3 play of Chori Steel into Lava Dart. Fetch up Surveil. Put Steam Vents in the bin. Want to draw spells here. Mutagenic Growth, good spell. That will guarantee the Chori Steel Cutter trigger next turn. So yeah, play the Cutter, dart the cat, get it out of here. This is usually the time where I say we need to dodge PHLAGE, but no longer legal. Love to see that. So opponent's on 12 and they cast Screaming Nemesis. That is a lot less scary than PHLAGE. So I believe if my count is correct, opponent should just be dead. So they're going to start off with Slick Shot. Flashback Lava Dart, target the opponent, sacrificing Steam Vents. Trigger Chori Steel, trigger Slick Shot, trigger Prowess, trigger Prowess. Move the Chori Steel over. Cast Mutagenic Growth on the bird. Move to attackers now. Bash in for a guaranteed 13 damage. GG, let's go sideboarding. So the energy matchup doesn't really change post-board outside of the surgicals. So I'm going to be adding in the Unholy Heats, add in the Murktide as a good alternate threat. Cut the Expressives. Expressives are really slow. We really want to play to the board. And cut 1 Mutagenic Growth. The worst card as far as card quality overall. Alrighty, on the draw for game 2. Opening hand is pretty solid. Doesn't kill a turn 1 Guide of Souls, but does kill Ocelot Pride, so I will be keeping. And if the opponent doesn't play a turn 1 threat, we do have Swift Spear. Opponent starts off with the cat. We top deck a Steam Vents, which isn't great. So let's fetch up a mountain. And just dart the Ocelot Pride now. Don't want to get blown out by a Mana Tithe or a protection spell or something stupid. Opponent plays Flutter Strand, they crack it right away. Grabbing Sacred Foundry, shocking in, and a Ajani. We draw DRC for turn, so I think the game plan is here to either plot Slick Shot, then play both creature spells next turn, which I do kind of like. So just going to go Mountain, plot Slick Shot, ship the turn back. If opponent wants to tap out for a threat, they're going to have to face the Slick Shot. So this is incentivizing them to hold up interaction. They bash with both creatures, don't play a land. There's a Murktide. Murktide is a really nice draw. So we're definitely playing the bird here. Bird is the word. And I think we're going to play out both of our spells, both our creature spells. Going to play out Tarn and then DRC. If the opponent doesn't cast anything in combat, we're just going to pass the turn back. Try and ride the Murktide to victory. Yep, so opponent does have the Galvanic Discharge on Slick Shot. We could have done some funky plays with the Lava Dart, but it was all pretty bad into one removal spell. So we'll just let everything go, I think. So yeah, we could have Lava Darted the cat token. Opponent may have flipped it, may have not. They probably wouldn't flip a Ajani if we play out all our creatures like that anyway. And yeah, if they have that one discharge, it's pretty bad. So they attack in with just a Ajani, which is pretty good for us. We're going to leave that, of course. Taking 1 damage is so good here. No third land. So we will be fetching up Surveil Land. And opponent does have the discharge on DRC. Mutagenic Growth on top. Don't think I want to draw that one. It is kind of free into the Murktide mana, but this Cat Warrior token is pretty annoying because we don't really want a Ajani to flip just yet. Violent Urge is the draw. Opponents played 2 discharges. Our Regent at the moment would die to a 3rd discharge, but it's pretty unlikely. I think I'm going to start off with a Lava Dart on the cat token now, sacrificing a mountain. Going to see if the opponent flips a Ajani. If the opponent doesn't flip a Ajani, I'm just going to cast a Violent Urge on the Swiftspear anyway. They do flip the Ajani, so we will cast Urge, and this will be able to kill the Ajani. So Ajani has been dealt with. We are going to shock in and just jam Murktide now. Let's see, get rid of both spells, lands as well, and we'll leave a creature in the graveyard. Leave the 1 mana open. So 5/5 Murktide. Opponent has another Ajani. So if we're able to get Delirium, we will definitely just kill the opponent. Bolt off the top is really good. Pretty much allows us to counterspell the Ajani this turn. So we'll attack with both creatures. If the opponent blocks with the Cat Warrior, we just bolt the Ajani. If they don't block, we just bolt the Ajani regardless. So they do block with the Cat Warrior token. So we will bolt the Ajani, pretty much time walks them. Opponent needs a static prison. Otherwise, this Murktide is going to be trouble. They do have a Guide of Souls, so they've got to follow up Ocelot Pride. Things can get pretty hectic. They do have the Ocelot Pride, so looking for Delirium here for sure. We do hit Delirium with the Bauble, so we're going to cast Bauble. Let's crack Bauble on ourselves. Swiftspear on top. So we'll cast nothing just yet and attack with both creatures. So yeah, now we're looking for that extra bit of burn. Opponent does chump block with cat token. So I'm going to give the Murktide double strike, put them to 1. We do draw that Swiftspear. So we've got some lethal threats coming in. Opponent needs an answer for the Murktide. They do hit the 3rd land, 1 card in hand. Interesting that they don't attack with the Ocelot Pride to gain more life. Potentially a mistake, but also potentially means they can just answer the Murktide. Okay, they got nothing. This could have signaled Galvanic Discharge, so they could have fetched up Mountain for the discharge. But alas, the power of Murktide, as we see there. Keeping the opponent off a Thraben Charm was also really important as well. But yep, GG's. Let's head to the next one. All right, round 2 on the play. Oof. Opening hand's a triple slick. Gonna have to put this one back. Too many 2-drops. This one is pretty interesting. I think I am inclined to keep it. We can afford to miss a 2nd land drop for 1 turn. And we do have burn spells if the opponent has creatures of their own. So put back Preordain. We can't currently cast Preordain. And if we get the 2nd land drop, we don't really need it immediately. Opponent also on 6. So let's go Mountain, DRC, Sego. If the opponent does nothing, we will dart them in their upkeep. Try and get that land. So let's dart the opponent now. Trigger Surveil. No land. Corey Steel goes in the graveyard. There's the land. Love it. So go to combat, bash for 1 with the DRC. Don't want to do anything else just yet. Like, we could have got Delirium that turn, but I think it's safer to just say go, potentially hit a creature the opponent plays, or get Surveil land. Opponent plays, has an Elegant Parlor, and puts a card on top. So this could be Storm, this could also be like Flageless Jeskai Blink, if that's a thing. Not too sure. They play another fetch and crack it. They do get a mountain, so it does look like Storm. And they do have Ruby Medallion. So let's crack our Bloodstained Mire for the Surveil land. Really trying to turbo Delirium. Put land in the bin. Upkeep, we will Lava Dart the opponent. Trying to hit Surveil. Land in the bin. We draw Mutagenic Growth. So I think here we do just go all in. So I think here we do just go all in on trying to get Delirium. Can put the opponent to 1. So we'll start with a Mutagenic Growth. Swift Spear in the bin. That does get us Delirium. Go Violent Urge on the DRC. Land in the graveyard as well. Flashback Lava Dart, sacking a mountain, Urge in the graveyard as well. So we could put the opponent to a 1, but we should just leave the Lava Dart in our graveyard for now. See if they fetch, make a mistake, play a Ral, miss the first flip, something like that. So they start with Ritual. Ritual again. Splicing. So Past in Flames here is pretty brutal. But they do need some sort of payoff in Wish or something. Glimpse the Impossible. Exiles Ral, Tarn, and another Ritual. Reckless Impulse. Hitting Foothills and Manamorphose. Opponent down to 1 card in hand. So they'll Morphose here. They don't have a Past in Flames. I think we're in good shape. They cast another Ren's Resolve. Hitting Ritual and Surveil land. They cast that Ritual. So this does look like a Past in Flames, unfortunately. Yep, there's the Past in Flames. Ritual, 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 Ritual. So yeah, now the opponent does need to hit a Wish. They can still whiff. It's a bit hard from this point from them, but a possibility is a possibility. Glimpse the Impossible. Does hit the Wish. GG. So yeah, the Wish is going to be able to get a Grape Shot, and that will unfortunately finish us off. Not quite fast enough. There's a Grape Shot, GG. All right, for sideboarding, we are trying to purely race the opponent. Going to take out the Expressive Iteration and the 1 Unholy Heat. Bring in the Strobe, because we're trying to race. And also bring in the 2 Spell Pierce on the play for game number 2. Opening hand is pretty sweet. We do have the turn 2 Pierce. Turn 2 Pierce for Medallion would be pretty huge. I think if the opponent leads with a Gemstone Caverns, though, we are going to hold up Pierce turn 1. Opponent keeps 7, no pre-game. So we will fetch, shock, DRC. Opponent plays a fetch, they crack it straight away. This could be a Prismatic Ending. Yep, so they do Prismatic Ending DRC. That's the only play that punishes us by not playing Swift Spear turn 1. We top deck another land, which is actually pretty decent. So we'll play that fetch mountain. Play out the Swift Spear. Bash for 1. Say go. We do have both answers to Ral and Ruby Medallion. So we'll see what the opponent does here. I think if they impulse, we let it go. They Artist Talent, so we will be forced to pierce that one. Artist Talent is a very good engine for them. Get that one off of the table. Preordain off the top, very good draw. Very good draw. DRC Violent Urge. So we're still missing 1 more card type for Delirium. But 2 instants in our hands. I think we top both of these and plan on doing our best to kill the opponent next turn. We'll have 3 looks if we cast all of our spells at hitting Delirium. Also got the Bolt for the Ral. So the best thing the opponent can do here is Ruby Medallion Ritual, plus land, I guess. Opponent starts with Manamorphose. Good sign for us. So they're either looking for third land or cost reducer. Most likely looking for third land. They follow things up with a Reckless Impulse. They do the third land, but it is a Steam Vents. And they play it tapped. So we'll draw the Violent Urge, try and go for the kill, pay 2 life with the Mutagenic Growth, trigger Prowess, trigger DRC, Bolt on top, pretty good actually, but we now need to do some maths. So if we bolt their face right now, they're at 10. This will be 4. So I think the players put Bolt in the bin and just to continue to go for lethal. Bolt the face, Assault Strobe, so close, yet so far. Gonna have to put that one in the bin as well. Violent Urge, target the Swift Spear, prey on Delirium. There it is, the artifact. That was close. GG, head to game 3. All right, on the draw for game 3. This opening hand looks nice, but it's got no turn 1 play or interaction, so I'm going to have to ship it back. This hand is definitely better. I'm going to keep this. I think we're going to bottom the Choristeel. And the plan is to kill the opponent with Slickshot, Mutagenic Growth, Assault Strobe combo. Opponent starts things off with Elegant Parlor. Just going to play Foothills here, pass the turn back. Second Slickshot's actually pretty good. We're going to plot the first one for sure. Opponent plays Reckless Impulse turn 2, hitting Mountain and another Ren's Resolve. So we're going to fetch up Surveil Land. We hit a land here, which I actually do like, because it means we can try and turn 3 the opponent. Shock in Steam Vents, plot Slickshot, say go. Hopefully opponent doesn't have the kill. I think if they had a Ruby Medallion, they would play it. It did not, and now they play Ren's Resolve, hitting Arid Mesa past in Flames. So hopefully this is just land go. They play Mountain, pass the turn back, and we draw Choristeel. Don't believe the opponent should be able to interact with us. So I'm going to play Bloodstained Mire, crack it, grab a Mountain, play out the first Slickshot, play out the second Slickshot, play Mutagenic Growth, trigger the Slicks, then we're going to Assault Strobe on the other Slickshot, bash in. Actually, I missed lethal. I should have just cast the Bolt instead of the second Slick, bro. Oh my days. Oh my days, that was bad. I'm sorry, crew. I did not think. I was too blindsided by playing both Slickshots. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh. We did not deserve to win that game. Oh my gosh. I forgot about the power of Assault Strobe. So yeah, previous turn we should have cast the Slickshot from plot, Mutagenic Growth on that Slickshot, bolted the opponent, Assault Strobe on that Slickshot, and that was 21 damage. So complete blunder by myself. So we'll head on to round number 3. All right, round number 3 on the draw. Opening hand is an absolute doozy. So we're gonna have to put this one back. This hand's a lot better for sure. We'll keep, put back Thundering Falls. Hate having a tap land in our opening hand. Opponent starts off with Fiery Islet into Pinnacle Emissary. Mox Opal. See if they tap the Mox Opal. If they don't tap the Mox Opal, Kappa Cannoneer is definitely on the cards, and that is devastating for us. They start with a Pithing Needle. Let's see if they get us. I think if they believe we're playing Prowess, they probably name a fetch, which is probably Tarn. This is one of those situations where, yeah, they named Tarn. That's crazy. So we do get rewarded by playing a good split of fetch lands. Top deck Bauble, so that will be great for the Choristeel turn. Let's play the Bloodstained Mire now, fetch it, just so we don't get absolutely reamed by a second Pithing Needle, for example. Now the question is, do we want to play DRC? I think we do want to play DRC before we play the first Swift Spear. If we get to untap with this DRC, just a lot more value for us. We don't really get that punished if they kill the first creature anyway. We do value DRC higher than Swift Spear, of course, but in this spot, if they kill it, they kill it. It's not that bad. the risk over reward is a lot better. Opponent cast Thorecast, good one to have for sure. And they attack for 2 with the 2 drones. So this does look like a potential Metallic Rebuke. We draw Preordain for turn. Because we drew Preordain, I am kind of keen on just plotting Slickshot, not running out Corey Steel into a Metallic Rebuke. Next turn, unplot Slickshot, play Swiftspear, play Preordain, play Bauble. I think dodging the Rebuke on a free turn like this for the opponent is huge, because now we sort of force them to either tap out for a Kappa Cannoneer, don't play the Rebuke if they want to play the Construct token off the Urza Saga. So really important example of why you need to put your opponent into really good example of why you need to put the opponent into an awkward position sometimes with their interaction. They only attack with 1 drone, so they do seem to be planning on blocking. So they do seem to have the Rebuke, and they plan on making Construct plus Rebuke. Let's play Fiery Islet, cast Slickshot, cast the Swiftspear. So then we Preordain. Trigger, 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 trigger. Unfortunately, we had no way of stopping Urza Saga this game. Violent Urge off the top will be great. Be a potential way we steal the game next turn. Bolt is also really solid, so let's go top Verge, top Bolt. Play the Mishra's Bauble. Triggers again. Leave the Verge on top. Move to attackers. We will attack with Slickshot, of course. Here it's awkward. We can't really afford to attack with the Swiftspear because they make a construct, block it, it's a 5/5, and then we try and bolt something, they Metallic Rebuke, and our Swiftspear will die in combat. So they're just going to block with the drone token, which is great. We'll crack the Bauble now on the opponent, see what they draw for turn. It's going to be an island. So do nothing. And they do in fact make the construct. So this is a window where we can resolve a bolt. I think we don't want to though. I think we just let all these things happen. Draw the Violent Urge. 1 card type away from Delirium. Looks like opponent is going to make second construct with the Saga. They've got an island in hand as well, so they can just get Shadow Spear and start gaining life. But that does turn them off Metallic Rebuke if they do that. So they play out the island. They've sort of committed to the line. They play Emissary, cast Mox Opal. So we'll see here if they do still go for the Shadow Spear. They do. So we're not going to block, and we need to draw a non-creature. Lava Dart would be huge. We also need to draw, we need to draw something that kills the other drone token. Lava Dart, Swiftspear. We do get some looks though. So we're going to hit the drone token with a bolt, trigger Surveil. Should have played out the Swiftspear first, I guess. That's a mistake. We do hit the dart. Oh man, did I mess this up big time? I think so. Put the dart in the bin. Drone token gets bolted. Play the Swiftspear, which we should have played before that first spell. I don't think it's enough regardless. I think the opponent did gain just a bit too much life for us to keep up with. Unless we hit another dart, we don't hit the other darts. So we do get to hit them for 14 in the air. Hopefully hit another dart here. Don't hit the other dart. Very sad. 19 in the air, sorry. So yeah, very close, very close. Misplay with the timing of the Swiftspear, that was bad. But yeah, if we hit that extra dart, we would have got there. We'll go to sideboarding here. All right, so the nice thing about sideboarding is that because we're trying to tackle Chalice, we've got extra copies of Meltdown to play. We don't have Mystical Disputes though, which are great against Kappa and Pinnacle Emissary. But regardless, we're going to be taking out 2 iterations and 1 heat. Just going to try and race the opponent and then time a nice Meltdown. All right, game 2 on the play. Opening hand is solid. No Meltdown. Is this a keep? This is really close. It is aggressive. Does kill turn 1 Pinnacle, but do we even want to do that? I think I mulligan. I actually think I mull. Really tough decision, but I'm going to put it back. This one is better. I think. So I'm going to keep. I'm going to chuck back Slick Shot, I think. Just going to try and ride the Corey Steels to victory. So start off with Bloodstained Mire, Fetch Shock into DRC. We are, of course, hunting down Meltdown. This hand just does a lot better job at finding Meltdown, which is the most important card. Engineered on 1 from the opponent. Bolt off the top, not too bad. So we're going to fetch up Mountain, play Corey Steel into Bauble. Trigger Surveil. Land off the top. I think we like that first land, to be honest. If we draw 2 in a row and get punished, it will be a bit upsetting, but the next turn, Corey Steel plus land plus Bolt is just really explosive, and we probably need a guarantee that we can cast all those spells. So bash in, opponent down to 17. They play an Urza Saga, so they do represent Metallic Rebuke at the minute. End step, we will crack the Bauble on opponent, see what they got working with. There's an Emissary on top, so draw the land, of course. Mega punished. We get the land anyway. Not great. So I think best line is to shock in Steam Vents, play the Corey Steel. If this does get rebuked, it's okay because we still get to get Delirium. And if this doesn't get counted, it's absolutely huge. We are, though, really looking for follow-up spells. Hitting that land there was brutal. Any spell on the deck is great in that spot. Preordain on top, perfect spell for next turn. Opponent doesn't counter the Corey Steel, so we are chilling. We're going to bolt them and be ultra aggressive here. They could have a really explosive turn with Pinnacle, of course, but with the cards that we have, I believe this is the best line. Just go all in, try and get them. Bash in for 8. See if the opponent wants to crack the engineered explosives. They do. So they only take 7, go down to 7. Only got 2 lands on the battlefield now, though. No artifacts on the table either. They play second Saga, so no red notably. They cast Engineered for 0. Wow, that's a really good one. So we're not going to play Preordain yet. We're going to attack for 5. Try and get the opponent to crack this Engineered Explosives. Yep, opponent does do it. No shenanigans. So we'll cast Preordain. Lava Dart, Preordain, both excellent spells. Gonna go top the Preordain, top the Lava Dart. Lava Dart the opponent now. Trigger the Corey Steels. Opponent takes 1, down to 6, play the fetch, say go. Just gotta remember to not actually crack the fetch land. Both Sagas triggering. Opponent will make a construct, and they'll probably grab a Mox Opal. Opponent grabs a Tormod's Crypt, so they're potentially trying to keep us off this Lava Dart. But unfortunately for them, we've got the Preordain on top, so they will crack the Tormod's Crypt now. I think we do just Dart now anyway. 3 lands, definitely enough to kill them next turn. So opponent down to 5. As long as we don't whiff on a spell, we are chilling. Cast the Preordain. And opponent concedes. Alright, game 3 on the draw. Opening hand is a lot of nothing. This is a lot of air right here. I think we mulligan this one. This one is great. Has the Meltdown. No second land. However, Meltdown is extremely powerful. So let's put Corey Steel on the bottom, I think. Corey Steel needs a land and like a 0-drop to be good. So a bit too many tools for that one. Opponent starts off with a tapped Sink into Stupor as a land. We draw second Dart, so let's fetch Shock, cast DRC. The opponent has an explosive Pinnacle turn. We're probably likely to just melt down next turn. Hopefully there's no Kappa Cannon here. Weapons Manufacturing, very solid. Very solid here. Bolt off the top. Did have the option of trying to get a bit fancy and Dart in the upkeep, but I don't like that play. We want to hold up interaction. So we're just going to attack for 1 here. Hold up the Bolt if the opponent has a Pinnacle Emissary. Stem the power of Emissary plus Weapons Manufacturing. Here is the Pinnacle, so a good play to hold up the Bolt. Funnily enough, we do get priority back because the opponent has Weapons Manufacturing. So do we get to kill the Emissary and opponent gets no value? We'll put the Bauble in the graveyard. No responses from us. Opponent casts Memnite. So if they've got another 0 drop, they can Kappa, and we will be in danger. This is a Kappa, so we are in danger. Gonna have to try and win this game without Meltdown now. Upkeep, I will dart the opponent, try and get that land. We do hit the second land. We're gonna draw that one. Play out the second land. I think now's a good time too to play out Suspir. No attacks from us. Hopefully dodge Claws of Gix. So yeah, the plan is to win with the Violent Urge on a flying Dragon's Rage Channeler. This looks like a second Kappa. Yeah, second Kappa, alright. And the way the opponent tapped 2, this could definitely be Metallic Rebuke, which we are not keen on. But we're going to have to just jam through it. No other option here, really. Opponent cracks the bauble, though. So, let's see. They will be drawing a card, so they definitely could have the Metallic Rebuke. We're going to dart the opponent now, though. Try and get that Delirium online as best as possible. Trigger Prowess. DRC. That is going in the bin. Flashback Dart is going to connect. Oh, opponent has Galvanic Blast on our Dragon's Rage Channeler. Wow, that was their last card in hand. Is there a way we can stop this? I don't think so. Unfortunate. So we're going to have to let all that go. Spewing. We do it the Mesa. So the best chance for victory is to attack with the Swift Spear here. Opponent doesn't block for whatever reason. They do block. Unfortunately, the last card was great from the opponent. Meltdown was awkward there. Opponents had the great draw with Weapons Manufacturing plus Kappa. So Meltdown was at its absolute worst. But yeah, GG. Move on to match 4. All right, round number 4. On the draw. Up against D. Frank. 61 card main deck. Very interesting. Opponent mulligans to 6. Opening hand is pretty great. We've got the turn 2 combo, so let's keep it. Do have a dart in case there's an Ocelot Pride. Notably doesn't kill Guard of Souls. Does kill a Mana Dork though. Opponent starts off with a Forest, so this could be 61 card Amulet Titan special post-ban. Expressive off the top, so let's just go land goat. Opponent plays Crumbling Vestige, so they are trying to Amulet Titan and do nothing with the mana. Very interesting. So we'll crack Foothills here, grab Surveil. Slick Shot Show Off. Let's put that in the bin. I think the way we win this game is by making Monks and then giving the Monks double strike with the Violent Urge. So we top deck Mesa, crack Mesa for Mountain, play Cory, play Bauble, trigger. Next turn we've got a pretty explosive one as well. Crack the Bauble now on the opponent, see what they've got going on. Rumble off the top. So bash for 2. Draw. DRC. Opponent plays a second Vestige. Making green. Playing Spelunking. So they get to draw a card, put a land into the battlefield. They put Forest into play. So we do get to have Delirium. Ooh, they cast a Zuran Orb. That does throw a bit of a spanner in the works as far as counting up lethal goes. Slick Shot off the top. Let's see here. So Slick Shot is a guaranteed. This now becomes pretty tricky. So Slick Shot will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2. So 16. So if we play Slick Shot and we play Violent Urge and Growth, which is the most damage we can do with Slick Shot, that'll be 16 from the Slick Shot. That will be 3 damage from one Monk, 3 damage from the other. So that's 22. So opponent has to sacrifice 3 lands to survive. If we cast Lava Dart into Growth, or if you go cast Lava Dart, flashback Lava Dart, that's 2 damage. Then cast Growth on the Monk token with the Cory Steel on it. That isn't as much damage, I believe. I think the most damage we can do here is with the Slick Shot. We can't actually kill the opponent because they do have the Zuran Orb, no matter what line we take. So we're gonna have to try and force them to sacrifice as many lands as possible. So cast Slickshot Show Off, cast Mutagenic Growth on Slickshot Show Off. This will now put an instant in our graveyard, guaranteeing Delirium. Move that one across. Cast the Urge on the Slickshot. Getting good double strike damage in. And we're going to force the opponent to sacrifice at least 3 lands. Punch in with the team. And opponent just scoops it up. Alright, so sideboarding now. I think the best way to do it is just to purely race the opponent. And the best way we can board with that is to board in the Unholy Heats, board in the Consigns for the interaction, Assault Strobe to try and race, take out Expressives, obviously, because they're pretty slow. Cutter on the draw especially is quite slow. And then take out 2 of the Preordains as well. Just trying to get the opponent dead as quickly as possible. We could trim on some of the burn spells, but when we're trying to purely race, I do prefer the burn spells over the first 2 Preordain. Alright, so we're on the draw for game number 2. Opponent keeps a 7. This hand is really interesting. No sideboard pieces or interaction. But this can turbo kill the opponent if we find the right combination of cards on top to surveil away for Delirium. I think we do keep. One of our game plans is to race, and this hand races pretty well, especially on the draw. Does also have a bolt in case the opponent has a grazer that they can chump block with. They do play out the grazer, playing Saga. Top deck a Swift Spear for turn, which is really good. That definitely helps the race situation. So we're going to shock in, play a DRC first, just to average out better damage over the next few turns. Opponent ticks up Saga. Opponent plays the Mycosynth Gardens. Passes back. So they look like they're just going to play a Construct token. Consign to Memory. Okay, so Consign is really strong here. Allows us to take away that Urza Saga trigger next turn, hopefully stopping the opponent getting the amulet. So we'll go to attacks, bash in with just the Swift Spear. Don't want to get too fancy with the Dragon Rage Channeler attacks. Opponent blocks the Grazer, of course. Gotta check, bro. You gotta check. So they do make a Construct token. See what they do here with the Saga. Alright, so they are making a Construct. We definitely want to counter the search trigger. Consign the search. Trigger Prowess. Trigger Surveil. Swift Spear in the bin. Awesome. 1 less card we need for Delirium now. Opponent attacks for 2 with the Construct. We will not block. Oh, they've got Bojuka Bog in hand. Wow. Okay, so Bojuka Bog really gets us. That is fine. See what we draw for turn. Draw Fiery Islet. So let's play out the Fiery Islets. Bolt the Grazer. And we'll attack with both creatures here. Land in the graveyard. Bash with both. Opponent should block the DRC. So we're going to cast... I think the best thing is to cast the first Urge. Save this growth to combo with an Urge with Double Strike. Land in the bin. So we're still a little way off Delirium, but we are chipping away nicely. And our board is currently a lot better than the opponent's. Bounce land is pretty brutal. Opponent plays an Aftermath Analyst. That works. Annoyingly here, we can't really cast any of the spells in our upkeep to control the draw. They do have that Gruul Turf, so they will get Bojuka Bog back for next turn. See what we draw here. Swift Spear off the top. So let's play a Swift Spear. Go to combat. We'll attack with everything. And I think that we plan on trying to go for Delirium. They just block the DRC, which is interesting. So we'll cast the Urge. So we'll cast the Growth on one of the Swift Spears to try and push damage. We do hit the Sorcery in Assault Strobe. So we'll put that in the graveyard. And we'll also cast Urge on the Swift Spear. Hopefully hit the Delirium. We do hit the Delirium. So we get to save the DRC. We get to punch in, put the opponent down to 2. So now we are just hungry for any burn spell. Opponent is forced to play out the Bog unless they have something like Prime Time into combo kill. But they've got no amulet effect, which is just huge. They do have Spelunking here. So they're going to be able to Bog plus play another land. If the other land is a bounce land, they get to do Aftermath Analyst, shenanigans, which they are. They bounce back the Crumbling Vestige. They play the Crumbling Vestige for turn. So this looks like a Grazer. Scape Shift. Okay. Lotus Field, not in the deck. Notably, very important. So let's see what the line is. Alright, so opponent gets Woodlands, Teleria West, Cephalid Coliseum. Interesting. So they're going to Cephalid Coliseum, target themselves, draw 3, discard 3. Very strong, powerful land. And they're going to crack the Aftermath Analyst, bring everything back, make a ton of mana. Pachuca Bog us. So they do need some sort of payoff now. We do get bogged. Shout out to the Cordy Lines boys. Teleria West being transmuted. So this is likely going to get Summoner's Pact for prime time. Then a bunch more fun stuff is going to happen. Opponent gets Zuranorb. Okay. Play Zuranorb. They get to gain a lot of life. So we're now completely out of the game. And I just sort of want to wait and see what the actual kill is. So they've cracked Cephalid Coliseum a bunch. They just need to keep finding Aftermath Analyst. I guess they've got it with the Shifting Woodland. What am I talking about? But then how do they win? I don't know. Let's speed it up. Alright, so opponent ends up killing us with the classic kill of giving 2 prime times haste and smacking us in the face. So definitely a worse combo without Lotus Field, but nonetheless, gets the job done here. And they did have Pachuca Bog too, so they were going to get around Unholy Heat no matter what. GG, we'll go to game 3. Alright, game 3 on the play. Opening hand is a very interesting one. I think I'm inclined to keep this. It does counter turn 1 Amulet. So we're just going to play land pass. If the opponent does nothing, we get Surveil land, looking for the second land. And then we've got a bunch of threats as well. If the opponent plays turn 1 Saga, we've also got the Consign for the following turns to stop that getting an Amulet as well. But Consign on the play is just so powerful, especially when they're looking for that turn 1 Amulet. Alright, so they're on 6 cards, so we'll just go Scalding Tarn, pass. They start off with Beseiju into Grazer. Cruel Turf tapped. So no Amulet just yet. Keep the land on top, Great Surveil. Sacred Foundry. Sorry. Go Scalding Tarn into DRC, ship the turn right back. Looking to try and turbo out Delirium, of course. Amulet of Vigor. So we will counter this one with the Consign. Old school Amulet as well. Very cool. Bolts. I think we put Bolt in the graveyard. We're either looking for lands or just other card types to hit Delirium now. Bog from the opponent. Absolutely brutal. They don't need to search for it. They just draw it naturally. Consign off the top as well though. Very strong. So, gonna jam out the second DRC now. Attack for 1 with the Dragon's Rage. Hold on the Consign for just 1 more turn. If they do end up having a second Amulet, it is pretty backbreaking for us to consign them here. There's the Saga though. Green Suns for 3. So this is going to get Aftermath Analyst. Azusa. Azusa's great. Opponent down to 1 card in hand though. So I believe the best play is to heat Azusa now for mana efficiency. Got the Bauble on top. Let's put that in the graveyard. Also put... Do you want to put land on top? I don't think so. We want to really just turbo out Delirium now. Slick shot, show off. So we'll play Swiftspear, cast Mutagenic on Swiftspear. So 2 looks at Delirium. Land, no good. Bolt, also no good, but we'll leave Bolt on top. Gives us even further looks at Delirium. Bash in with the team. So if opponent casts Primetime, we've got the Consigner Memory. And we've got continuous looks at Delirium. Styles look like the Primetime. So Primetime will come down. We will consign the trigger. Oh, I should have put Bolt on the bin, actually. I forgot about this sort of play pattern. So we do lose out on a Savell trigger. Unfortunate. So put Bolt on the bin. Put Swiftspear in the bin. Doesn't matter though. We still get there. So all of that happens. Opponent plays a Mirror Pool. Wow. Okay, Mirror Pool quite strong. We get a DRC. So we're just going to go... What's the play here? Is it just DRC? Yeah, I think it's just... Oh, no, it can't be DRC because the opponent's about to bounce Pachuca Bog and bog us. So attack for 7 in the air. Opponent falling down to 11. I'm not liking the spot, especially because the opponent gets to find an amulet and copy Primetime now. Mirror Pool was a great draw. Such a good draw. It pretty much negates our Consigner Memory, unfortunately, when they naturally draw it like that. Yep, opponent does get the amulet, using the Saga trigger as expected. Opponent Mirror Pools the Titan. Very strong. So they've got 1 search trigger now. Most likely get Handwire Battlements, which they do. So they'll be able to attack us down to 2 life with both Titans. They do also bounce Pachuca Bog. So our path to victory with Delirium is no longer available. So we've got 2 Titans coming at us. Bog coming in. So we need to go Lava Dart. Oh, Green Suns is... Oh, Green Suns is such a good draw. Oh my days. Wow. Top of the deck, very kind for the opponent this match. Mirror Pool into Green Suns, 2 of the best draws in the situations. So they're now going to be able to make a ton of mana. Not exactly sure how they'll kill us though. So they copy Amulet with the Myco Spawn. Sorry. Copy Amulet with the Myco Synth Garden. 1 more Primetime trigger coming off. We draw it on Holy Heat for turn. Very savage. So we'll play out DRC. Yep, opponent gets us. GG's. Alright, round number 5 on the draw. Opening hand is not too flash. Second land missing, pretty huge with this build. Second land missing, pretty huge. So we're going to have to mull. This one is a lot better. We'll keep this, put back Surveil Land. Have the nice option of turn 1 threat or turn 1 interaction. Opponent plays Engineered on 1. So we are playing against another Affinity gamer. So Wooded Foothills, crack. Let's shock in Steam Vents, play out DRC. Say go. Opponent plays out Urza Saga and passes the turn back. So this could definitely be Metallic Rebuke. Regardless, we'll just attack first, most likely plotting Slick Shot no matter what. No effects yet, so yeah, we'll play Mountain, play Slick Shot, pass back. Try and make the opponent's mana really awkward. They don't fire off the Engineered Explosives, so Rebuke is definitely likely. They play out Island, play Bauble. So this could be a Kappa coming down. Yeah, Claws of Gix as well. But still no effects from the opponent. Draw a dart, which is pretty big. So I think if we play Bloodstained, play the Slick Shot. Let's start with a dart on the opponent. So they really need an answer to the Slick Shot. If they don't have the answer, they will lose. Violent Urge, we'll put that in the bin. Just looking for burn spells now. Let's go to combat, attack in. See if the opponent wants to make the construct. They do in fact make the construct. It's a 4/4 at the moment. So before blocks, I think we fetch, grab a mountain, bolt the opponent, try and get this DRC to fly. Land will go in the graveyard. Slick Shot starting to get big. Lava Dart the opponent now as well. Corey Steel in the grave. So one more type away. Mutagenic Growth on the Slick Shot. Should be enough now though. We do get that Delirium type in there though as well. Bolt the opponent now too. And that is a turn 3 kill through Metallic Rebuke. GG, sideboarding. Sideboarding exact same as our previous Affinity match. Alright, game 2 on the draw. Opening hand, no Meltdown, and does have Surveil Land. I think this one is a bit too awkward, gonna throw it back. This hand is definitely better. I think we just want to chuck back a Bauble, give ourselves the best option. Lead off with Meltdown most likely. Opponent starts with the Pinnacle Emissary. Playing a Bauble, playing Mox, playing Claws of Gix. So if they've got a Kappa here, we're pretty toast. One card in hand. No Kappa. If they've got a Metallic Rebuke in hand, we're also toast. So we're going to shock in Steam Vents. Meltdown for 0. See what the opponent does. They fucking Metallic Rebuke, bro. God damn. Damn, they're good. Damn. Affinity looks absolutely insanely Affinity looks unbeatable when this happens. Opponent top decks Weapons Manufacturing, plays Welding Jar. Attacks us with all the tokens. So we're now looking for second Meltdown. Steam Vents off the top, so let's start with Preordain. No Meltdown to be seen. Bottom. Draw another Preordain. So we'll shock in Steam Vents. Play second Preordain. No Meltdown to be found. Get to put everything on the bottom. Draw Corey Steelcutter. Like, we could keep Lava Dart and try and dart the drone tokens, but I think that's a very much just a losing strategy at the minute. The opponent's got the Weapons Manufacturing. We need to hit Meltdown on this turn, otherwise it will be GG. Another Corey Steelcutter. So we're gonna Preordain number 3. Bottom. No Meltdown. So yeah, now unfortunately there's no way for us to win. Scoop it up, head on to game 3. Alright, game number 3 on the play. Opening hand, no lands, easy choice. This one does have lands. I think we want to keep here. Bottom, most likely Bolt. I think I want to bottom Bolt, play Arid Mesa, and just pass. We really need that second land, so we're going to either Surveil for... So we're either going to grab the Surveil land, or we're going to bolt a Pinnacle Emissary. Opponent leads off with Spire Bluff, nothing else. So we're going to try and hit that land. There's the land. Very good. A draw for turn. I think here I do still want to hold up Lightning Bolt, so I'm just going to play DRC and pass it back. Opponent has Galvanic Blast in my end step. Unfortunately, I F6 and I couldn't growth it. That was a bit of a punt. That was bad. Goddamn. Wasn't expecting them to have the blast. But they just jam Urza Saga and pass back. So just going to grab Steam Vents tapped. Looking for a Meltdown here or a third land. Do get that third land. So let's play the third land. Play Cutter. And jam Swiftspear. So we play Swiftspear, trigger Cutter. Opponent hasn't responded to anything yet. Bash for 3. Obviously, would love to be able to hold up bolt on this turn, but we really need to start being proactive. Otherwise, we're just going to lose to land drops with the Saga. That's what makes this matchup pretty tough. Opponent plays out Pinnacle into Mox. So this could definitely be a Kappa. Opponent plays out a second Mox. Second Saga as well, very strong. And yep, here comes the Kappa Cannoneer. Powerful play. Opponent does get to keep up Metallic Rebuke as well. So we're just going to have to try and force the issue here. Obviously, opponent could have Shadow Spear off the Saga next turn, which is really bad. Means they'll be getting all the life back. DRC, not the worst draw. Not the best. You have to bolt the opponent now to trigger the Cory Steel. Hopefully to Lava Dart with the DRC. I think opponent is thinking about Metallic Rebuke, which is pretty crazy. Oh, they go for the Galvanic Blast. So we do get to blow them out here with the Mutagenic Growth. Violent Urge on top. So we will be keeping that one. That is one way we can steal this game. We want to move this across. I don't think so. I don't believe we want to be attacking with the Monks. So we'll go to combat. Attack in with the Swift Spear. So the path to victory from here is top deck Urge, play Urge, mill over into Delirium. There's the Shadow Spear though, and that's rough. So yeah, opponent's gonna be able to gain a lot of life. Also needed the Mutagenic Growth, my DRC turn 1, but I don't believe that would have mattered. Can't do anything about these attacks. So we're gonna Violent Urge, DRC, trigger Prowess, trigger Surveil. There's a Dart. Okay, so we put Dart in the graveyard. Flashback Dart before the Violent Urge resolves, sacking Mountain. There's a Swift Spear. Unfortunately, that was already in the bin, so we don't get that as a missing card type. Move the Cory Steel over. And yeah, we're just one spell short, unfortunately. Bash in with the team. We can only deal 10 to the opponent. So yeah, Shadow Spear saved the opponent. Die roll as well. Just a really, really tight one. I think we played well except for the Mutagenic Growth on turn 1. And yep, opponent's actual lethal. GG's. There's the meltdown just to rub it in. Post-ban, Prowess still good, still good. Look, the result of the league was not the absolute best, but all of our losses went to 3 games. Could have played a little bit better in certain spots. We'll be making more videos very, very soon, trying out a bunch of different cards, trying to see how we can attack the meta the best. So if you want more Prowess action, stay tuned. If you want me to play another deck, let me know in the comments below as well. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you all in the next one.